The library was silent, as it always was. Dusty air, the faint smell of old paper, the illusion of peace. I had built that life carefully, anonymity stacked neatly between bookshelves. Then I heard her, my wife, whispering, thinking I couldn't hear. Her voice carried from the kitchen, low but venomous. "He's a weak old man. Meet me at the abandoned military base. We'll bury him there." Silence followed. Then the man's voice, steady, arrogant. "Her lover. He won't fight back." They laughed, a hollow sound, a sound I hadn't heard since interrogation rooms. They didn't know. That base wasn't just ruins. It was where I had trained my unit, where I learned to kill silently, where every shadow had once belonged to me, and now it would again. At first I thought I misheard. Delusion, age catching up with me. But the words replayed, again, again, precise, sharp. Bury him there. Infidelity was one thing. I could almost stomach betrayal of the body. But betrayal of the soul, plotting my end, was something else. I set the kettle on the stove, listened to its hiss, forced my face blank when she walked in. Her lips pressed against my cheek as though nothing had happened. Her perfume clung to me, sweet, poisonous. I poured her tea, steady hand, asked about her day. She lied with ease. Years of practice, I realized. That night, I lay awake beside her, counting the rhythm of her breath. I wondered how many nights she had slipped away, how many lies had been buried under our roof. She thought she married a librarian, a soft-spined man who filed words and disappeared into pages. But she had forgotten the truth, forgotten what silence can hide. The next week was reconnaissance, phone records, timelines. I moved like I once had, quiet, invisible, efficient. Her calls to him were frequent, always brief, always coded, but not enough for me. Amateurs. I followed her one evening. She drove toward the outskirts, toward that rusted base. She didn't see me. She never looked for ghosts. Inside, I mapped the rooms, the stairwells, the exits. My mind replayed drills I hadn't thought of in years. Kill zones, blind corners, echo chambers. She returned home before midnight, slipped into bed, smelling faintly of someone else. I closed my eyes, breathing through the storm inside me. Patience, precision. Two things the battlefield had carved into me. The evidence was irrefutable. Bank transfers, hotel bills, a second phone hidden in the lining of her purse. Messages that left nothing to doubt. She wasn't just unfaithful. She was invested. Building a future without me, with him. And in their fantasy, I wasn't just gone, I was buried. When I confronted her, it wasn't with rage. Rage is sloppy. It was simple. I placed the second phone on the table, watched her eyes widen, then narrow. She whispered, "It's not what you think." I leaned closer, my voice cold. "I know exactly what it is." She trembled, but I didn't. My pulse never changed. The invitation was hers, though she didn't know it. She told him to meet at the base that night. She planned to lure me there, end it. But I was already waiting. The place welcomed me like an old comrade. Every crack in the walls, every shadow on the floor, mine. They arrived together, whispering, holding hands, nervous laughter. Then the lights flickered. A generator I had started hours before. A single bulb hanging from a wire. They froze when it lit the room, and saw me, sitting there, calm, reading a book. I closed it gently, looked up. "You picked the wrong graveyard." Her face drained. His mouth opened, but no words came. I didn't shout. I didn't strike. I simply laid the evidence across the table. Photos, transcripts, every lie stripped bare. And then I left them there, together, trapped in the silence of what they had done. Back at the library, I shelved the book I had been reading. The aisles smelled the same, quiet, orderly, safe. She wouldn't return. Neither would he. Their world had already collapsed under the weight of truth. I didn't need to pull the trigger. Sometimes silence is more lethal. Sometimes exposure itself is execution. I thought about the man I had been, the assassin, the ghost in black. I thought about the man I had pretended to be, the librarian, quiet, harmless. Both were illusions. Both had served their purpose. Now I was something else. No pity, no rage, no sorrow, just clarity. She had chosen betrayal, I had chosen survival. And survival, in the end, is the only story that matters.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.